Hello everybody and welcome to Hacking Pixels. Hacking Pixels covers some of the hottest cybersecurity news from around the internet, along with a twist of retro video game nostalgia. Hacking Pixels is brought to you by Actionable Security, securing small businesses with actionable insights. Actionable Security specializes in cybersecurity services tailored for small businesses such as risk assessments, email hardening, virtual chief information security officer advisory, and a lot more. Go to actionablesec.com for more information. Welcome to episode 19. I'm your host, Frank Morano, founder of Actionable Security and Nostalgic Vintage Gamer. I'm super excited to announce that we are now a video podcast. This has been something we wanted to do since day one and have been working towards it in the background. Video should be enabled on Spotify, YouTube, and more, but we might have to give Apple Podcasts a little time, as we're waiting for Spotify to support Apple's new HLS video technology. In the interim, we will continue with audio-only podcasts for Apple. Other than that, our YouTube channel has taken off in a big way since last episode. We went from a handful of subscribers to now over 3,500 subscribers. We have over 100 videos on the channel now, from quick tips to the latest news, and of course every episode of Hacking Pixels now with video going forward. Anyway, we have a few stories to talk about today, like the FortiBleed credential harvesting campaign, hackers exploiting Gravity SMTP WordPress plugins, new iPhone security updates, and our featured retro video game. So let's get to it and talk tech and pixels. All right, let's kick things off. This month was basically a buffet of gaming news with a little tech sprinkled in, and honestly, I am not complaining. The big one for me was the new Wolverine gameplay shown during the recent PlayStation State of Play. It looks incredible. It is fast, stylish, and very, very bloody. Wolverine is out here slicing through enemies like he is auditioning for a Mortal Kombat cameo. As someone who grew up obsessed with the X-Men and already loves the Spider-Man games from Insomniac, this feels like the perfect mix of everything I enjoy. I'm ready to lose entire weekends to this game. Nintendo also decided to casually drop a tiny teaser for a remake of Ocarina of Time. They barely showed anything, but it does not matter. They could have shown Link opening a door, and I would still be excited, as it is my favorite Zelda game. I'm sure we will get more in the next Nintendo Direct, but even this little glimpse was enough to send the internet into a nostalgia spiral. PlayStation made a big announcement too. Physical discs for new games are ending in 2028. Collectors everywhere probably felt a disturbance in the force. Personally, I have not bought a physical game in years. Platforms like Steam and Apple have been all digital forever. It is a little sad, but it feels like the industry is finally admitting what has already been true for a long time. Then there is Valve's new Steam machine. It starts at $1,049, and that does not even include a controller. I think everyone was hoping for something closer to $699, but with RAM and storage being swallowed by AI data centers, everything is inflated. Early performance reports are not great either. Valve even removed the 4K branding. At $899, the PlayStation 5 Pro is a much better deal. The Steam machine feels like it is aimed at the Valve superfans who already have a Steam Deck shrine in their living room. And finally, Nvidia announced the RTX Spark chips. These are meant to compete with Apple's M series and bring fast AI and graphics performance to Windows laptops and small desktops. And this is the most excitement I have seen on the Windows side in a while. It feels like Nvidia looked at Apple's silicon and said, "All right, our turn." Welcome to the part of the show where I hand a stack of AI headlines to Notebook LM and see what it does. Today we are feeding it stories about Anthropic expanding Mythos access, a new AI usage report, and Claude Tag.
Enterprise AI is advancing across two fronts: high-speed agentic deployment and an expanding, unmonitored security blind spot. This duality creates a friction point where rapid productivity gains often outpace an organization's ability to track how and where sensitive data is being processed. Anthropic is expanding Project Flashwing, deploying its Claude Mythos model to 150 organizations to scan critical infrastructure codebases for vulnerabilities. This chart shows the scale of the discovery. Mythos has already identified over 23,000 potential vulnerabilities, with 6,000 confirmed as severe. However, remediation is lagging behind discovery. Of those thousands of severe flaws, only 75 have been patched. AI has shifted the primary cybersecurity bottleneck. The challenge is no longer finding the flaws, but executing the patches at the same speed as the models. AI is also moving from a passive tool to a proactive team member. Anthropic's Claude tag for Slack reads channel context, joins threads, and completes tasks autonomously. Deploying these agents safely requires a specific data architecture. This diagram shows channel-by-channel isolation, ensuring different departments share no memory or data permissions. Because these agents operate in the background and move tasks forward asynchronously, organizations must actively monitor the constant token consumption. Integrating AI into daily workflows requires precise permission mapping and strict cost oversight before deployment. While enterprise tools like Mythos and Claude Tag are highly governed, new data from Layer X security shows the risk is concentrated elsewhere. This chart identifies a power user anomaly. 5% of employees generate the vast majority of AI interactions, often using personal accounts that bypass corporate oversight. The exposure rates across these channels vary significantly. DeepSeek shows the highest sensitive data exposure at 12.6%, while governed tools like Copilot show a much lower rate of 3.6%. These unmonitored personal accounts and browser extensions, rather than approved enterprise platforms, function as the primary vectors for data leakage. Standard access blocks lack the granularity required for agentic workflows. Security teams are instead adopting real-time inline guardrails that monitor prompts and restrict personal account access on corporate networks. Readiness for this era requires 3 actions. Scale your patching to match AI discovery, audit your agentic data permissions, and explicitly monitor the activity of your high-risk power users.
Notebook LM always surprises me. Sometimes it is insightful, sometimes it is chaotic, sometimes it feels like it is trying to negotiate a union contract. I want to highlight 2 stories in particular. First, Anthropic released a new Claude Sandbox security guidance plugin. It helps developers spot vulnerabilities while they write code. This feels like having a friendly security guard standing behind you saying, "Hey, maybe do not leave that window unlocked." It is proactive, it is helpful, and it is exactly the kind of thing we need as AI becomes more powerful. Second, Google is adding new protections to Android to fight AI deepfake scam calls. This is long overdue. Scammers have been using AI voices to impersonate family members, bosses, anyone they think will get you to panic. So Google stepping in with built-in protections feels like caller ID for the AI era. On a fun note, we started using AI voice cloning on this podcast with episode 18. Did you notice? Now let's get to it, our first story. First up is the FortiBleed leak. Credentials for more than 70,000 Fortinet VPN devices were exposed. That is a nightmare scenario because VPNs are often the front door to a company's internal network. If attackers have your VPN login, they basically have the keys to your digital house. Even if you do not use Fortinet, this is a reminder that credentials are always at risk. If your company is still using passwords that were created during the early seasons of Game of Thrones, it is time to rotate them, use multi-factor authentication, and stop reusing the same password everywhere. If your VPN password is the same as your Netflix password, you are living dangerously. Next up is the Gravity SMTP exploit affecting WordPress sites. Hackers have been abusing a vulnerability in the Gravity SMTP plugin to send spam and phishing emails from compromised sites. It is messy, and it is exactly the kind of thing that makes WordPress admins lose sleep. WordPress powers a huge portion of the internet. so plugin vulnerabilities are one of the fastest ways attackers break in. The best thing you can do is update your plugins, audit your site, and if you want a deeper look, check out Actionable Security's WordPress Risk Spotlight. It is $499 and gives you a full breakdown of your site's risk profile. If your business runs on WordPress, it is worth it. And finally, Apple had to rush out emergency software fixes because attackers are using AI tools to find and exploit vulnerabilities faster than ever. This is the new reality. AI is helping defenders, but it is also helping attackers. If your iPhone has not been updated, you are basically walking around with a digital sign that says, "Please hack me." Update your phone, do it now. Do not wait until tomorrow. Do not wait until after dinner. Just update it. Let's take a break from the serious stuff and talk about something a little more nostalgic. Our featured retro game this episode is Banjo Kazooie for the Nintendo 64. Banjo Kazooie came out in 1998. It was developed by Rare and published by Nintendo. It is a 3D platformer about a bear named Banjo and his sarcastic bird friend Kazooie, who team up to rescue Banjo's sister from the witch Gruntilda. The game is packed with charm, humor, and personality. Critics love it. Fans adore it. It became one of the defining games of the N64 era. Here is a fun fact. Banjo Kazooie actually started as a completely different game called Dream. It was a role-playing adventure for the Super Nintendo. Rare eventually scrapped it and rebuilt the whole thing into the platformer we know today. Another fun detail is that Banjo Kazooie was developed on a Silicon graphics workstation, the same kind of hardware used for CGI in movies at the time. You can still play Banjo Kazooie today on Xbox through Rare Replay or on Nintendo Switch Online. It holds up beautifully. Super Mario 64 made me fall in love with 3D platformers, so when Banjo Kazooie came out 2 years later, it was already on my must-play list. It had that same sense of exploration, but it felt different. It was warmer, funnier, and full of personality. I spent hours hunting down jigsaw pieces because I love collectathons. The visuals were gorgeous. The soundtrack was unforgettable. The characters were hilarious, and the level design was top tier. Banjo and Kazooie's abilities made the game feel alive. Jumping, climbing, swimming, flying, rolling into enemies. It was all so smooth and satisfying. It is still one of my favorite Nintendo 64 games. I have been waiting decades for Microsoft to give us a remake or a proper sequel. At least we got Yooka-Laylee, the spiritual successor made by former Rare developers, but nothing hits quite like the original. That's all, folks. Thanks for listening. Join us next month, same bat time, same bat channel. And remember, this episode of Hacking Pixels is brought to you by Actionable Security, your trusted partner in safeguarding small businesses. With decades of experience, Actionable Security offers tailored cybersecurity services such as risk assessments, email hardening, and virtual chief information security officer advisory. For more details on how we can help protect your business, visit actionablesec.com.